Alright, Shalom, Shalom. I do want to start this camp by saying all praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH for giving me the opportunity to come out here and prophesy today. I do want to give double honors to the elders and apostle GREATMILLSTONE for teaching the truth by using precepts upon precepts and line upon line. In this camp video, I want to get into another prophecy, and this prophecy is going towards you Edomites. Alright, you so-called white European Caucasians. Alright, your day is coming to an end. Your time is coming to an end. Babylon the Great, your kingdom that's supposed to be your kingdom, alright, the place where you're supposed to be on top of Jake, where you're supposed to rule the whole world, alright, deceiving the whole nations, alright, telling the people that you're the true chosen people of you are the Israelites, even though you guys are not the Israelites. Y'all told the whole world that, you know, you're the purest of them all. Alright, and how did you tell the whole world that? You called yourself white. Alright, you basically lied to the whole world, bombed other nations, basically ruled the world in wickedness. Alright, your time is coming to an end. Alright, and I'm here to prophesy of your end. I'm here to tell you that what YAHAWASHI is coming to take your land to naught. Alright, for all your abominable works, for all your wicked actions, even the wicked actions you have done in your past life, which you have done to Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American, which you have done in 70 AD, or for all your persecutions, even Amalekite, or Amalek. Amalek was the first nation to go against Israel when there was, when Israel was trying to travel to their homeland. Amalek was the one nation that said, "No, let's go against them." Hated the nations. All right, all you guys together will be utterly destroyed in the end times. All right, why? Because you have what? Basically shutting down the people that YAHAWASHI love. And who does he love? Yeah, Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Alright, so let me grab this verse scripture from book of Lamentations chapter 2. Let's start at verse 15. All that pass by clapped their hands at thee. They hissed and wagged their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that man called the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? Alright, and who was they? Who is the people that clapped their hand at Israel? You Edomites. Alright, you guys are so-called white, Caucasian, Europeans. Alright, you guys were the one who clapped your hands against Jake, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and American. Alright, scoff at them, laugh at them of their downfall. You scoff at them thinking that they're nothing. And to this day, y'all still think like that. Y'all still think Jake ain't shit. Y'all think Jake is just a dumb people that just go according to the flesh. You think that they have no discipline with them within themselves. You think that they're not that smart. Alright, and the reason why you think that is because you basically destroyed their household. You took the father out the household, made the woman bug the hell out, and made the kids go out and done wickedness. Alright, you had done those things. That's why they act like that, but we're not going to talk about it because you don't like taking accountability, or you don't like taking responsibility of your own action. You're just a big child, a child that just wants to do anything that he wants. Alright, but in this day and age, YAHAWASHI will make sure you take responsibility for what you have done. You laugh, you scoff, you destroyed their homes of Jake. You had damn near made history of the Trail of Tears. The Trail of Tears, that's a history of what you have done to Jake. Alright, you had took the land of all the Native Americans of America and damn near almost committed genocide towards them. Alright, and even toward the Haitians, you persecuted them. And when they fought back, you still persecuted them and said that they was wrong for fighting back, even though you're the one who put them in captivity. All right, all of these judgments you have done to Israelites and many more that I don't even know of. All right, YAHAWASHI know himself because he sees everything since day one. You're going to be judged in this day and age. Your time's going to be up. Your America you love so much is going to come to naught. And everything I've done to the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, is going to be avengeful. All right, you're going to go into captivity. You're going to go through everything that we have went through. All right, and we're not going to judge you in wickedness. We're going to judge you in righteousness. Because you Edomites, you had raped men, or you had raped little boys. You would do a lot of abominable works toward the men, a lot of wicked things, because you was on top. But this time, it won't happen again. And very soon, YAHAWASHI is going to let Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and American, over you. All right? Never again were you going to clap and laugh at Jerusalem. Never again will you ever scoff and say, I'm above you, I'm better than you. Because in those days, in the kingdom of heaven, that's going to come to naught. All right, because Jake is going to say, we are better than you. Jake is going to flash and be stunting against you. All right, Jake is going to be on top, and you're going to be the bottom. All right, and you're going to be hoping that we even give you anything. That's how bad it's going to be in the future. And that's the future prophecy. That's not me trying to scare you, trying to lie. That is the truth. That's what YAHAWASHI is going to bring. Book of Ezekiel chapter 35 talks about that, and I am going to go over that chapter again. All right, I know I made this lesson multiple times talking about Esau, Edom downfall, but this is true. This was about to come to pass. All right, this is prophecy. All right, what else am I going to say? Oh, Esau, the Most High loves Esau. Hell no, that's not written. Romans 9:13, as is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. He hated you guys since day one. So what do you think is going to happen to you very soon? You think he's going to make your kingdom last a little bit longer? No. All right, Job 14:5. Seeing his days are determined, their number of months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. There's a rulership, a time period, a boundary of the rulership that you can't pass. And as soon as that time comes up, your kingdom has come to naught. You're going to go straight to the bottom like you're supposed to be, and Jake's going to be on top, and you're going to suffer the consequences you have done for all those years. Everything. Every single thing you have done is going to be done upon you. Let's go to verse 16. It says this, all thy enemy have opened their mouth against thee. Who is the enemy against Israel? You Edomites. You're the number one enemy toward Israel. You have spoken against us, robbed us from our heritage, and damn near told us that we're just African, we're black, we're negative, we're just dumb creatures that just that will never get things right. You had brought that against us, not us ourselves. You have done that because you have hated us. You were jealous of us. You was envious of us. You saw how we were having so much gold and riches, how we rule over the world, and you wanted all of that. So what did you do? You trodden us down. You hated us. You plot for our downfall. And you made sure we stayed down forever. How do we know you made sure we stayed down forever? Because you continue bringing out strange philosophies towards Jake. You give them abominable foods. You make sure we give us strange gods. That's not our power. You keep on saying that we're this, that, and the third. We're this. We came from this. We came from here. We came from there. You spreading confusion so we won't wake up to the truth that we're actually Israelites. That's how you're trying to keep us down. But like I said, not anymore. In the future, Israel is going to know. Israel, so-called Negroes, Latino American, will know who they are. And everybody will know who you are. And that's you're an Edomite and you're the wicked. And you're going to go straight to the captivity. All right? Is the captivity going to be peaches and cream? Are you going to get paid? Hell no. It's going to be servitude. Straight up servitude. It's going to be straight hardcore slavery. Just like what you have done to us, it's going to be the same thing right back to you. It's only fair. You reap what you sow. If you have done wickedness, what you're going to receive? Wickedness. But if you have done righteously, you're going to receive righteous works. And you Edomites, you have been doing righteously all these years. I have never seen not one good thing you have done. Scripture says every time you do good, you didn't even mean to do good. You was trying to do something else. So it's like you guys are born to be wicked. And guess what? Since you was born to be wicked, you're going to be born in captivity. You're going to be born into slavery. And that's what's going to come to pass to you. Well, let's read this again. It says this, the Lord had, verse 16, all thy enemies have opened their mouth against thee, against Israel. They hiss and gnash their teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day that we looked for. We have found, we have seen it. All right, you Edomites have seen our downfall. You was happy. You created Black Friday. You created Thanksgiving. All right, and probably many other holidays that we don't even know of that you celebrated. All right, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know, there's some history where some Edomites will peel off some Jake's skin and put ours as shoes. All right, they'll wear it as like an accessory. All right, they made sport of killing Jake. Sometimes they will probably feed you to the crocodiles. That's in part of history too. You had done many wickedness towards Israel, and YAHAWASHI has seen it, and he does not love it at all. He does not like it. He didn't dwell in that. All right, he did use you to punish Israel for their wickedness. Yes, we did went off. We did sin against the Lord, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. We did do that, but you went too far. You went after your own poor flesh because of your own envy, how you felt, what you believe was right. is that you make the whole world believe that you're the true chosen of people. It's okay to be a sodomite. It's okay to eat abominable foods. It's okay to serve other gods. You just straight wicked. You basically was a demon in the street. And YAHAWASHI, like I said, he is fed up with it. In this day and age, YAHAWASHI is coming toward all you Edomites. All right, for what you have done, all your actions, you're going to reap the recompense of it. Everything you have done to Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans is coming towards you in this day and age. All right, we're seeing America falling apart. We're seeing America coming to its end. How do we know America's coming to its end? Because we're seeing prophecy being played out left and right. All right, states are damn near going against going against Trump, because Trump is putting out troops to I don't know martial law, and some states are not allowing that. So some states are rallying themselves up against Trump. That's called what? Civil war. Has not scripture talks about how Egyptians are going to fight against Egyptians? That's basically talking about American and going against Americans, a civil war. Yes. Book of 2nd Ezra talk about how there's going to be a sedition of men. Sedition of men talks about you rounding up against the government. A lot of states, Chicago, and other like-minded states like Chicago, is going against Trump. All right, they're going against of his policies. They're going against what he says. So that's a proof of what? Prophecy being fulfilled. If that's prophecy is being fulfilled, what about the second world pass and third world coming quickly? You think that's not going to come to pass? Of course it is. And when all those things come to pass, and you bring a demon, you bring out the MOTB, the RFID chip, and you have a little bit of fun here and there, your time is going to come to an end. And everything you have done to the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and American, is going to be judged upon you. Everything that you have done. What the hell? Slovakia. Trying to make sure it's something. Slovakia about that. But basically, everything you have done to the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and American, is going to fall upon you. Everything that you have done. It's simple camp, nothing too crazy, nothing too hard. It's straight to the point. You Edomites are going to captivity. There's nothing more to say about it. All right. So let's grab a book of Obadiah too. Obadiah chapter 1. Let's start at verse 5, if not mistaken. That's the book of Revelations. Bear with me real quick while I find the book of Obadiah. There's only one chapter too, so I got to be careful with flipping the pages, because one flip, I'm basically missing a chapter. Got Psalms in the book of Proverbs, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations. Bear with me real quick. Well, Micah 1 and 3. Let me see. Micah 3 and 1. No, that's not it. I'm gonna stick with Obadiah. That's what I'm gonna go for. Not Habakkuk. Not Zechariah. What the hell? Forgive me on this one too. Slovakia. The book of Obadiah. you kidding me? Why is it not showing me the book of Obadiah? Yep, I found it. It's after Numbers. It's page 9957. Found it. Alright, so Obadiah chapter 1. Down. Alright, Obadiah chapter 1, starting at verse let's start at verse 3. Why not? Well, actually the point is at verse 10, actually, isn't it? Yeah, let's go to verse 3. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 10, not 3, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So the violence you have done to Israel, Jacob, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, is going to be a shame of you. Because in the days we're about to get into, when YAHAWASHI bring America down, he's gonna show off who are the true children of Israel and what the wicked have done to the Israelites. And that's you Edomites. He's going to expose you. And right now you're being exposed in this day and age right now. Through TikTok, through YouTube, people expose you of what you have done, Jake, for all these years, what you're still trying to do to Jake to this day, or how you hate the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It's evident by your own policies, because you're trying to kick out immigrants out of America, but you're only targeting the Jakes. What about the other European nation that comes here illegally? What about them? You're not targeting them. You're only targeting the southern tribe and the northern tribe. Why is that? Because you hate Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. You hate them with a passion. Or even with the Jake that's homeless. Why y'all can't just get your tax money up, the money that you be using for warfare, and just use it for the Jakes that's in the street, that needs the money, that needs to get back up in their feet and do good? Why you can't just do that? Nah, but why you don't want to do it? Because you hate Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. You hate Jakes. Alright? So it says this, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Verse 11. And in the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that strangers carried away captives his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. So when Israel was being put in captivity by other nations, you joined hand with Israel. Or you basically saw Israel in their worst state, and basically doubled down on their worst state. Basically, he was adding upon their own afflictions. All right, verse 12, it says this, but thou shouldst not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldst thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldst thou have spoken proudly in the day of his distress. And that's what's happening right now. You Edomites are a prideful nation, a prideful people. You speak down on Jake because you think that you're better than Jake. You think you're so good and so better than them, to the point where you don't want to give Jake respect. You be thinking that you have the authority to yell at them, to curse them out, do whatever they want. And don't get me wrong, this is your kingdom. But very soon you're gonna realize who you was fucking with in the first place. You're gonna realize that you should have never talked to the children of Israel like that. Alright, because you're gonna be what? Put in captivity. Verse 13 says this, thou shouldest not have entered in the gates of my people in the day of their calamity. That's 70 AD, when he went into the gates and basically did abominable works in the temple. All right, yeah, thou shouldst not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity. Let's continue to move on. Nor have laid hands on their substance in the day, in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldst thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldst thou have delivered up those those of his that did remain in the day of distress. Verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathens. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. So everything you have done to Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, is going to return upon your own head. So like the scripture showed the example, just like how you was there just when Jake was in a downfall, when Jake was in a bottom, and you joined in and afflict them, we're going to do the same thing right back to you. All right, you're gonna be in a downfall, pitiful state. You're gonna be hurting and crying for help, and we're gonna be there to put you in captivity. That's how it's gonna be. Just like how Jake was crying and mourning for hope and mourning for salvation, and you basically didn't help. We're gonna do the same thing right back to you. We're not gonna help you. We're just gonna put you straight to captivity. All right, why? For what you have done to Israel for all these years, and it's rightfully so. For all these afflictions, for all, even what you had done to YAHAWASHI, you persecuted him, beat him up. Yeah, Jake was part of it. Yeah, Jake was suing, but they was ignorant to the thing. They didn't know better. But you Edomites, you didn't care. You just want to beat the crap out of the Jake. You just want to beat the crap out of anybody that you see. All right, you're just a wicked individual. Your spirit is not upright in you. You're just a man that just loves bloodshed for some reason. And I don't know why, but that's just part of your nature. Ezekiel 35 talks about how you love blood so much, but what's going to happen to you? Yahweh Shema is going to shed your blood. It's going to be it's going to be like a reap what you sow. It's karma. If you believe in the karma in America, then you understand how it's gonna work. How Yahweh Shema is going to judge you. Now, karma is not a God. That's not really true. It's actually Yahweh Shema doing it. But I'm just trying to give you a visual image, visual thought in your head of how it's going to work. You reap what you sow. If you was doing wickedness, then you're going to receive wickedness. And that's basically what's going to happen to you Edomites. Or you white Europeans, that's what's going to happen to y'all. Or you're going to receive wickedness, what you have done to the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And there's going to be some people out there in the comments or watching this video saying that, well, all of us didn't do it. And I could rebuke that by saying you all did do that. You all was partakers of the downfall of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. How come? Through reincarnation, regenerations. There's nothing new under the sun. You guys had been doing this in your past lives. Jake in the past lives, all Jake in their past lives was in captivity. Under who? By you Edomites. All you Edomites were here on earth in your past life. So you have done wickedness. You have done what you have done to Jake. In this day and age, you're just reaping the benefit of what you have done. You're living a good life. You live in the suburbs. You got some good health care. You got a good amount of money to get good health care. But all that's coming to an end. And we're seeing it come to an end. Why? Because all those things that you guys love so much, your dainty good things, your food supplies, your cars, is all getting away. Why? Because Yahweh Shema is closing your kingdom up. He's closing your time of rulership. He's closing your fun. Everything that you love so much is coming to naught. And everything that you have done all these past lives, all these years, you're going to be going to captivity for it very soon. All right? And we're entering that day. We're entering that age. We're entering that time where Yahweh Shema is coming with great wrath. All right, towards you heathens, for what you have done. Let's read it again. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathens. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. So everything you have done upon the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and American, is going to be brought right back to your own head. It's going to be right back to you. All right, in the kingdom of heaven, all you Edomites that survived the World War III, you didn't get hit by nukes. You didn't got shot. You going, look, man, as soon as YAHAWASHI let his elect go, and he let the elect conquer, we're chaining y'all up. Y'all going straight to work. Y'all gonna be cleaning up the destruction that's happening around the world. You're gonna be building castles, kingdoms, nations. You're gonna be building a lot of stuff for us. All right, and are you gonna be ever again free? Hell no. Free from us? Hell no. Obadiah 1:18 says this. Matter of fact, it says this. And the house of Jacob, Obadiah chapter 1. Oh shoot, I just lost the book. Yeah, I did. Fudge. There. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. It's right here. It's locked here. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 18 says this. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame. All right, so Israel, the whole tribe of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, joint together. It says this. And the house of Esau for a stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken of it. So basically, you're going to be eradicated. You're going to serve your judgment. You're going to, do what you got to do, or fix the whole world, clean the mess that you made, all right? Make sure that you build the houses that we want, all right? And we're gonna be having a lot of houses. You're going to be working all day. All right, and then you're gonna be eradicated. You're gonna be gathered. I don't know how it's gonna be. I don't know how it's gonna work, but you're just gonna be eradicated. Thus said the Lord, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. I just spoke it out the scripture. I just said it right according to the book. And I'm just trying to tell y'all what's gonna happen or what's gonna come to pass towards you Edomites. All right, and all this is happening to you because you have rape, rob, and murdered Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. All right, and like I said, if you're hitting the spirit of saying, "Oh, but I didn't do it," look, man, you did it in your past life. At this day and age, you probably haven't done it. You probably was nice to Jake. You was probably, innocent. You probably friends with one of the Israelites. All right, but your past life, you hated them. In your past life, you put them in captivity. You probably popped their wife in front of their face. We don't know. But one thing I do know is that even though you don't remember what you have done in your past life, you're still benefiting from the fact that we're in captivity. You're still benefiting from it. All right, the money that you got from your pops, that's old money. All right, that's money from the past of what your grandfather had done to Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. All right, because at the end of the day, you are the grandfather. You are the man that had put them in captivity. That's the whole point. Incarnation, regeneration. Your past life had put Jake in captivity. So in this life, yeah, you seem good, cool, and all, but when the kingdom of heaven come to pass, you gotta serve what you have done in your past life. You gotta reap what you sow. All right, because that's what you have done for all those years, Edomites. All right, what you have treaded upon the earth for thousands. You thought nothing's gonna happen to you. You thought that nobody will bring you down, but the Lord said, "No, I will bring you down." Let's go to Obadiah chapter 1. Let's go to verse 3rd verse. It says this: "The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rocks, whose habitation high, that saith in the heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?" All right, and the reason why you have this mentality, think that you're never going to go down to the ground, is because you believe in your military power. You believe in your weapons, or you believe in your F-22s. You believe in your B bombers, your Bomber 2, your 2 bomber. I don't know what it's called. You believe in your Abrams tanks. You believe in your guns. You think that nobody's not going to touch you, but guess what? Yahawah BAHASHAM is going to touch you. He is going to whoop your ass. All right. Why do you think there's chariots in the sky? That's a curse upon the people that have stole, that have done wickedness. That's you Edomites. You have stole this land. You have done wickedness. It's a curse upon you. Because very soon, those chariots, those so-called UFOs, you guys call them UFOs, but those are the chariots of Yahawah BAHASHAM, they're going to start attacking y'all. They're going to start beaming y'all shit for what you have done to Israel, for what you have done to Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. All right? And to this day, you Edomites still hate us. Y'all hate us to this day. All right, you hate us because we got salt. You hate us because we just even in captivity, we still look better than you guys. All right, you guys are jealous of us. Yahawah BAHASHAM sees everything. He sees the inward thoughts. He sees what you're thinking, what you're saying, what you're planning to do. He sees all of that. You think he doesn't know what you're thinking? He knows what you're thinking. He knows that you hate us. That's why y'all still going to captivity to this day. You're going to captivity for your hatred, for your bloodshed, for the innocent of the Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. You're just going straight to captivity. I don't know how to say it. It's really just simple as that. You Edomites, Europeans, you're white people, you're going to captivity. Caucasians, you're going to captivity. All right. Now, is all white people Edomites? No. There's some Israelites sprinkled among the heathens. All right. So some person that look white could be a Jake. All right. And some person that has a brown skin like me could be an Edomite. So it's not about skin color. It's more like about your nationality. If you're an Edomite, if your forefather an Edomite, that means you're an Edomite too, because it goes down through the father lineage. So if let's say your father was an Edomite, and he gave birth to you, and you look dark skinned, but your grandfather is an Edomite, and that came from your father's side. Guess what? You're an Edomite, and guess what? You're going to captivity. Does not matter if you have some black skin or dark skin on you. It does not matter. It's all about what you have done in your past life, and with all your wickedness and all your hatred and all your evil schemes in your head. Because like I said, Jake had been mingled with the heathens. So some Edomites have brown skins. Some Edomites look like a Chinese person. Some Edomites look like a Japanese person. We don't know. They look like everybody. But the message stayed the same. All you Edomites are going to captivity. In those days, you won't be deceiving no elect man with you looking like a Chinese. They'll know if you're Edomite. They'll know you're Edomite, and you're going straight to captivity. But I'm a Chinese. No, you look like that, but your lineage is an Edomite. You're going to captivity, nigga. That's how it's gonna be. All right. Some people gonna be like, no, I'm black, so I got brown skin, so I'm gonna no. That does not mean you're Israelite. It's all about your lineage of who you came from. All right. You could have brown skin, like I said, you have brown skin and still be an Edomite. There's a lot of that. That's actually I was working at TJ Maxx, and I saw a customer, and I saw a kid, a group of kids, a woman. She was African American, with the woo, and she had some kids, but probably I'm wrong. Probably that was a Jake father, but basically what I saw was, and what I assumed was, she had kids. The kid was basically Caucasian. No, not Caucasian. He looked at African American, but the father was an Edomite. The father wasn't a Jake. That was an Edomite father. He looked like he could pass as a Jake if you look at him. But if you look at his father, he was Edomite. So who is he? He's an Edomite too. So is he going to captivity? Yes, he is, because his lineage goes back to Esau. All the Edomites are going to be brought down to the grave. All right. We're going back to the point. I went off topic. Obadiah chapter 1. Let's go to verse 3. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in the heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord, YAHAWASHI. So even though you represent as a bald eagle, even though you represent, you're the strongest person in the whole world, and that's you Americans, you're the strongest nation in the whole world, you're still going to be brought down by YAHAWASHI for what you have done to the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latino, and Americans. All right, so you Edomites, are you so-called Caucasians, Europeans, whites, all right, you're going to be brought down to the grave. You're going to be brought down to the grave. Your nation that you love so much, the nation that you're supposed to be thriving in, you're supposed to have fun, is going to cut off very soon. And you're going to go straight to captivity. And that is your future prophecy. There's nothing you could do to stop it. Can you pray to the Most High? Doesn't matter how much you could pray. Doesn't matter how much you could be kind to Jake. You still got to serve the sentence you have done for all those years. Because those things you have done in the past life, all those things you have done in the past, you still haven't got your judgment for it. You still haven't got your licks from that yet. So it's racking up to this day. Every single day, your sin is racking up every single day. And as soon as the day of the Lord comes and he destroys America, you got to serve that shit up. Everything you have, you got to serve that shit up. All right? Why do you think the days are moving fast? Do you think the days moving faster for you? No, it's moving fast for the elect's sake. So Yahweh Shemashai can save the elect, give them the kingdom of heaven, and put you in captivity. That's why the days are moving faster. All right? Even your scientists are telling you that the time is moving like more millisecond faster. Everybody and their mama knows that the time's moving faster. It's already 2025. I said 2025. We're already damn near close to 2026. So look, man, it's Yahweh Shemashai is rushing your downfall. Why? Because you have rape, rob, murder the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latino, and Americans. You have done many wickedness. It's repetitive. It's the same message, but this is what's gonna come. This is what's gonna come to pass towards you, Edomites. I got that out the way. Anyways, let's go to the book of Ezekiel chapter 35. Let's go to verse 1. It says this: moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came to me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. And that Mount Seir today, that's where Esau Edom used to live. All right, in this day and age, Esau Edom lives in America. This is basically his capital. This is his nation. All right, if he wants to be a sodomite, he comes to America and he'd be a full-fledged sodomite. If he wants to be a pedophilia, guess what? He's gonna be a pedophilia, and nobody's not gonna judge him. If he wants to fuck people's lives up and do what he want to do, go after his own lust, guess what? He's gonna come to America. All right, this is the modern day Mount Seir. This is where Esau Edom is at now. All right, and Yahweh Shemashai had commanded the prophets to face ourselves towards America. We're doing that right now, prophesying the highways and byways, and tell y'all, look, Y'all all going to die. Y'all all going to captivity. Y'all all going to be punished for what y'all done to the Israelites, so-called Negroes, like to the Americans. And we're out here doing that right now. All right. So let's go again. Ezekiel 35 verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it, and say unto it, thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. So how is Yahweh BAHASHAM going to make America most desolate? By using thermonuclear missiles. It's prophesied in the book of Joel chapter 2, book of Jeremiah 51, even verse 50, our book of Isaiah 13. Let's go to verse 14 too. We got Isaiah 34, we got Isaiah 32 of how America is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. Why? Because of your own wickedness and abominable works that America have been doing for all these years. These are the future prophecies that's about to come to pass. That's how he's going to make your inhabitant desolate. All right? Continuing on, it says this, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. Yeah, and a time of their calamity, and a time that iniquity had an end. All right, so basically, why? So the scripture basically explains to you why. Because you had basically perpetually hated Israel, so-called Negroes, like to the Americans. Even when they was crying for help, even when they was down on the ground, even though they was butt the fuck out, you still persecuted Jake. You still persecuted them. All right, and you say you try to help them. You really didn't try to help them. You just try to make them more worse. All right, you just use smooth words. You use sweet words, but in your heart, you was really hoping that we was gonna fail. All right. I said Isaiah, Psalm 55 verse 22 or verse 21. All right. He's speaking smooth words, but all swords was in his heart. Let's grab it real quick. I want to meet this Mark bar. And that's what Esau Edom does. He's a man that loves to. Esau Edom is a man that loves to. He just loves to kill people. He's a outside guy. All right, Jake is like in home. Jake don't like, going outside. Like, Jake goes outside. They work out with the woo, but Jake don't be doing what Esau Edom do, fighting animals, fucking jumping off cliffs, going building up in the sky. You don't need to be up there in the first place. Be down here. Calm down. Climbing mountains. Or you can never tell me one African American, or I say African American, like that's who we are. You cannot tell me one Israelite man or Israelite woman that told them that said, no, let's vacation to the mountains. No, Jake done that. You don't, only Esau Edom does those type of things, and he's a weird guy. He's a weird ass guy. Psalm 55. That's what I'm trying to go for. Psalm 55, verse 22. It says this. Oh no, verse 21. The word of his mouth was smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And that's basically Esau Edom. All right, it seems like he was trying to help Jake. It seems like he was trying to do a good thing toward Israel, so-called Negroes, like to the Americans. But really, in reality, it was just there to destroy them. All that smooth words of saying, you know what, it's okay for you to, he would tell the Jake man, it's okay to go according to your feelings. Yeah, it's okay. You could be gay. And he would tell Jake man that, and Jake man will follow suit. And now you destroy Jake men in many ways. Now they're sodomites. Some of them are furries. Some of them are butt the hell out, killing one another. And why is that? Because you Edomites have taught them those things. It seems smooth words, it seems nice, it seems kind, but actually it's detrimental to Jake, because now they're going off, they're going against Yahweh Shemashai, and Yahweh Shemashai is punishing them. Now they're down there, now they're being persecuted again. They don't know any better. It's all because of you Edomites. Or you Edomites have basically taught them the wicked ways. Y'all taught them the ways that Yahweh Shemashai don't delight in. And you know it. You guys know that. You know that if we go against Yahweh Shemashai, we'll be punished. So you made sure that we continue going against them every single day. All right, that shows your hatred. That shows how you shed the blood of the children of Israel. You continue doing it till this day. Alright, Yahweh Shema Shai is not delighting in it, and he's going to come after you for it. He sees what you're doing. He sees that you're purposely trying to make Jake go off so he can hate him. He sees all that. You think Yahweh Shema Shai is not going to judge you? He is going to judge you. Alright, and I'm talking to the Rockefellers, the RAWCHAAs. Alright, because they're the elites. They're the one who's in charge of doing so. The music industry. Slakia, the video got cut off, but continue on. You guys have done those things. You know, you and it was a child got abducted. You know, Esau Edom, man. I don't know. I can't even say that's Esau Edom. I don't even know who that was, but you know, I'm not saying, man. Saying how to do that. But anyways, going back to Ezekiel 35, it says this. Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord, Yahweh BAHASHAM Yahawashi, I prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So since you have not hated the idea of shedding blood, he's going to shed the blood against you. Alright? Because Esau Edom, he's a man that loves to fight. He's a man that loves to war. It's always killing, battle, killing. It's like warfare is his wet dream. That's what it is. Like Jake don't want to fight. Jake will, you know, try to defend themselves and fight. And Jake could fight, yeah. But Jake's not thinking about fighting everybody every single day. You don't see Jake doing that. That's only Esau Edom that's doing that. That wants to fight everybody every single day, want to blood, hurt people, steal people, women, destroy, bomb lands. That's him. He loves the idea of shedding blood. So Yahweh Shema Shai is saying that since you have loved the idea of persecuting other people, I'm going to do the same thing right back to you. I'm going to persecute you. I'm going to hurt you since you didn't care about the idea of hurting other people. Alright, because that's what Edomites have been doing all these years. Alright, continue on. It says this, verse 7. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from him that passes out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountain with slain men, and thy hills, and in thy valleys, and all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolation, and thy cities shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh BAHASHAM Yahawashi. Alright? And how it's going to make that happen? Through World War III, through sedition of men, through Jacob trouble. He's going to cause a rumble within America to the point where America is destroyed, desolate. People robbing each other, people are killing one another, people is, you know, fed. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad in America. Continue on, it says this, yeah. Where did I left off? I think verse 9. Yeah, verse 9. I'll repeat it again. Ezekiel 35, verse 9. I will make thee perpetual desolation, thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh BAHASHAM Yahawashi. Verse 10. Because thou hast said, these two nations, these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it. Whereas the Lord was there, and you guys did exclaim that. And how you guys boast about it? Black Friday, Thanksgiving. You was celebrating about the fact that y'all put us in captivity. You celebrating about the fact of how you stole our land. Our book of Ezekiel 36, verse 5 talks about. Hold on, let's grab it real quick. Actually, Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 6 says this. All right, well, verse 5, it says, Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 5 says this. Therefore, thus said the Lord, Yahweh BAHASHAM Yahawashi, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathens, against all Idumea. That's a Greek word of saying Esau, Edom, which have appointed my land unto their possession with the joy of all their heart, and with the despiteful mind to cast it out for a prey. Now it is talking about the land, yeah, all right. But what did they do to the real people? They put in captivity. So they was happy that Jake, so-called Negroes, Latin American, was in captivity, and they was happy that they took our land too. They was happy with it. They was joyful. They was like, hey, we got it. We got the thing. The Vacuum Ford Declaration. I think what's it called? I forgot what it called. But it's basically a document, a letter of how they was excited how they got the land, and the fact that Israel is basically theirs, the land of Israel, and the people, the true Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latin Americans, are basically destroyed. They was happy. They was joyful. All right, Yahweh Shemashai seen it. He's seen all of that. So going back to Ezekiel 35, verse 10, because thou hast said, these two nations, these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, I will even do according to thy anger and according to thy envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. So when Yahweh Shemashai make himself known among the whole world, he's going to do it by judging the hell out of you Edomites. And every nation going to realize that, damn. All right? Every nation going to realize that their nation, that Israel, God, Yahweh Shemashai, delivered them. Why? Because they're going to see Yahweh Shemashai beating the crap out of Israel oppressors. Who was Israel oppressors? Esau, Edom. And they're going to be like, damn, this is Yahweh Shemashai. This is true God. Not no Allah, not no Buddha, not no fucking, Jesus. No, this is the true power. This is true God. This is the power right here. Or this is the God that have saved Israel from Egypt. This is the power that destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. This is the power that had caused the flood to come down on earth. This is the power that had done many great miracles for Israel. That's how it's gonna be. And how he's gonna make that known? By fucking you Edomites up. He's gonna make sure y'all get what y'all deserve. It's gonna be a gruesome death for you Edomites. A genocide, I would say, a genocide. It seems cruel and seems raw, but that's what y'all deserve. Y'all been cruel to other people, and y'all think that y'all not gonna receive that cruelness back. That's something called insanity. That's stupid. You're gonna receive it back one way or another. You think Yahweh Shemashai is a power that doesn't do righteous judgments? All right, Scripture says, Galatians 6:7, it says what? Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever man soweth, that shall you also reap. Don't deceive yourself believing that you're not going to receive your judgment. Don't, you Rockefellers, I'm talking to you. You Rockefellers, you Rockefellers, you're Illuminati's, the elites, the people that's upstairs. Don't be deceived thinking that you're going to live a long life. You're going to go straight to captivity. When those nukes start flying and you start trying to hide in the bunkers, we're going to seek you out, we're going to grab you up, and we're going to make you go to work. We don't give two fucks if you're old. We don't care if you're an old ass senior citizen. Look, you're going to pick up the dung in the streets. Your job is going to make sure that all the bodies that was left behind in World War III, you got to clean that shit up. That's what you got to do. The only rest you're going to have is in the high holy days. Other than that, when the high holy days are over, Israel's so-called Negroes, Latino and Americans going to persecute you ever more. Put you in perpetual servitude for life. Just like how you did to Jakes, just like how you did to Israelite so-called Negroes, Latino Americans, they're going to do the same thing right back to you. Or in a future prophecy, Israel so-called Negroes, Latino Americans will put you Edomites into captivity. Negroes, Latino Americans will put you Edomites, whites, Europeans into captivity. That is a future prophecy. It seems far-fetched now, because Jake is in a bugged out state. The black man is fucked up. The black woman, she's a thought in the street. But very soon, when they die in this sign, they reincarnate back in their perfect body and their mindset, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see you in the bottom, and Jake gonna be on top. You're gonna be crying, we're gonna be happy. You're gonna be mourning, we're gonna be joyful. We're gonna have multiple wives. Jake and I can't wait to make a lesson about the kingdom of heaven, man. I can't wait to do a camp on that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna study. I'm gonna try my best. But that's what's about to come to pass. When you Edomites, you're not gonna see none of those things. All those benefits are gonna be only for Jake and Jake only. All right, continue on. It says this. Verse 12. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountain of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consume. Thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. All right, basically talking back against Heavenly Father. All right, you Edomites had created the religion of atheists, saying the Heavenly Father is not real. All right, you whitewashed scriptures and made Heavenly Father look like a sodomite, and the only begotten Son look like a hippie. Or he saw all those things. That's you boasting, talking bad back to Yahweh Shemashai. He's seen it. All right, he have heard it. All right, Let's read it. Thus with their mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied words against me. I have heard them. Verse 14, thus said the Lord YAHAWASHI, when the whole earth will rejoice, I will make thee desolate. So when everybody is happy, even the other nations, they're finna get, they're finna go into captivity too. Yeah, but they're not gonna get it as hard as you are. So scripture says this, thus said the Lord, when the whole earth will rejoice, I will make thee desolate. So when the whole earth is rejoicing, everybody's in their own land, they're there in order, you're gonna be desolate. Your ass gonna be in servitude. Your ass gonna be in captivity. You're gonna be serving nations after nations. You're gonna be serving us the most. We're gonna be beating the crap out of you 24/7. The other nation, they're gonna get their ass whooped, but you're gonna get it the worst. It's gonna be a genocide, man. It's gonna be a genocide.
Right.
All right. Verse 15. As thou did rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so I'll do unto thee. Right. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI. That's the spirit, he was obviously on the phone, but he was like, right. That's what's about to come to pass. You're gonna go straight to captivity. No remorse. There's not gonna be no peace, no love, no. All right, Christianity be talking about how Yahweh, the only begotten son is gonna come down with flowers. That's not true. All right, they used to teach that. Now Christians are kind of going into the time of a time of prophecy, a time of doom and gloomy, But they're still saying that the Most High is coming for. He ain't coming for nobody. He ain't coming for everybody. He's coming for the elect, the 144,000. He's not coming for you Edomites. All right, the only thing he's coming for you is for captivity reasons. That's it. He ain't coming for no love towards you Edomites. He's come to utterly destroy you for what you have done to the Israelites, so-called Negroes like you and Americans. And I'm out here to tell you that right now. Your end is not good. When America be destroyed, you Edomites, you're going straight to chains. Your newborn baby is going to be a new chain right around their neck, just like how Jake was. Back in days, Negroes like you and Americans, when they was in captivity, when they had birth, when they gave birth to kids, they had chain around their necks. That's going to happen right back to you. You Edomites, what you have done to the Israelites, so-called Negroes like you and Americans, you're going to go straight to captivity. That's how it is. All right? And it seems far-fetched right now, but very soon you will see it. It seems far-fetched, but when World War III starts, then you're going to realize that, shit, we was telling the truth. And your prophecy and your end is about to come. All right? But that's what I want to get into today. Let's talk about the Esau-Edom downfall and what's going to happen to Esau-Edom. I want to give all praises to Yahawah, BAHASHAM YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM QADASH for giving me the opportunity to come out here and prophesy today. I do want to give double honor to the elders and apostle of GREATMILLSTONE for teaching the truth by using precept upon precepts and line upon line. Shalom.